Carmelo Anthony is considered one of the top small forwards to ever play the game. Some people have him in a top 5, some have him top 10. But he has no accolades. And we give James Harden all the smoke. Why doesn't Carmelo Anthony get the same type of smoke? He hasn't won anything, whether it's playoff series, championships. He hasn't had an MVP. Why, when we talk about Carmelo and his offensive package, he's revered. But when we talk about James Harden, we just go to dissect it and talk about all the negatives.
I think he one of those players that well, for one, we got to consider the era he came up in. In those early to mid 2000s, it was a very ISO heavy era, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he had the offensive package. So I think that's what people look at when they kind of say how good Melo was. He was a great scorer, but yeah, I think that's why. You know, you got to look at the era. You look at the people that was playing back then, the stars back then, T-Mac, AI, Kobe, Ray Allen, all those guys. Them all was ISO guys back then. So I think that's the reason why for sure.
Okay, are we live? Your thoughts?
I think you asking why doesn't Harden get the smoke that
No,
Melo?
No, why doesn't Carmelo? So remember when people talk about James Harden, he gets all the smoke. He didn't do this. He never performed in the playoffs. All this and all that. But then when guys talk about Carmelo, like he's revered. Like people go nuts over Carmelo, and Chris Fauci is saying he has kind of the same resume as far as like James Harden. He ain't did nothing in the playoffs. He ain't really win and do nothing in his career like that compared to James Harden. And Harden got an MVP.
Because you know why I'm confused? I had to ask you to ask again because I feel differently. I feel like people be on Carmelo's top. Pause. Like they be on him and don't. You know what I'm saying? I think he should be looked at very, very differently than the way he is right now. Like he gets a lot of smoke. When he was in New York, they killed him when he was with us for years because we either underachieved or didn't get to where we thought we was gonna get. But for the type of career that he's had, I absolutely think like he's done his job. Like he's done his job. I don't know what else with what he had in the situations that he was in. What more were you expecting from him? Not the teammates, not his coaching, or what more were you expecting from him? You remember that 2009 Western Conference Finals? I think all of us remember that shit.
Yes.
When him and Kobe was going at it.
That's his best series.
That was one of the best series I ever seen in my life. And before Bean died, Bean was like, he's probably one of the toughest covers. Like one of the toughest covers for me because he's so fucking physical. He's so physical. So same thing with Kevin Durant. Carmelo Anthony is by far the toughest cover for me. I got on the plane after playing him and was confused. This is KD. I was confused. Like, should have won Rookie of the Year. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, got his team to the playoffs the first year.
Yeah. Mel,
okay, I agree.
Mel.
Now, this is why I love this. Go ahead, Mel. What's your opinion?
My opinion is, honestly, I love Melo. I was a big Melo guy. I actually got the same tattoo right here. I got the M. He got a basketball with the C and the A. I got the M and the M. I used to love Melo. I had the braids, the headband. I used to love Melo and Bron. Big Melo guy. You know what I mean? And my name is Mel. I was a big Melo guy.
Yeah.
I was a big Melo guy, but sadly, I think he's been a disappointment. You know, even this. What made me disappointed? The first statement I ever seen him, he said, "Yo, I don't care about a championship. I got an Olympic ring. I got an Olympic medal."
Right.
I'm like, what? Melo? Is that coming from your mouth? Like, what? And Melo is so nice, right? I be arguing with a dude here a little younger than me. I'm like, yo, Paul Pierce was cold. He's like, Paul Pierce is not Melo, not Bron. I'm like, yeah, them niggas is another level, but niggas forgot how nice Paul Pierce was because of LeBron and Melo in the next generation, right? But I was vouching for Paul Pierce on that. But I was saying that just made me realize how nice Melo is, right? Boom. And that's another thing. Coming in the league first couple of years, Melo LeBron. That's a comparison. You can't even compare the two no more. That's why it's disappointing to me.
I was just finna say that. I was just finna say that.
It's not a comparison. They don't even mention them in the same boat no more,
So
bro.
you can't. So you want Melo to be compared to the GOAT?
Coming into the draft,
Just keep the same.
Listen,
Melo got to get
the
compared
GOAT
to the GOAT.
conversation. Just you feel
coming
me?
into the draft, Melo was looked at as the best player.
Right,
He
and
was
then
He was looked at as the best player.
He's just coming off of a chip in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and he was the best player coming into the draft. Nobody, no, when Chris Bosh won, Brian D. Wade, Melo was the best.
He was the most
player.
ready, right?
What pick he came in? He was the best player.
Agree
in
with that. 100%.
I just feel like he just didn't care.
And another thing,
he didn't care about winning.
You're right.
I mean, of course he cared. Every NBA player, but it came to a point where he's like, "I'm gonna take the bag." He took the bag a few times over winning, and then he also, my opinion, he's mad nice. You know, I'm a LeBron guy, but he's a selfish player. He wasn't. If he ain't scoring, he ain't doing nothing else for real.
I'm gonna piggyback off that.
You feel me?
You just said he incurred. He didn't. He took the bag over winning. He had a chance.
And then this, like, LeBron took most of his plays and got them niggas chips. I don't want to put LeBron in this, and we keep it Melo, but I'm just saying that, like, it ain't Melo.
That's unfair. Like, don't
hold on.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Listen.
This for the Knicks. Let's talk about the Knicks. The Knicks was rolling. Amari was averaging 30 and 10. Raymond Felton was averaging 20 and 10. Melo came over there and fucked it up.
I'm gonna go before that. He messed up because he had the chance. He didn't see the forest through the trees, like you said. He wanted the bag. He had a chance to go with Miami before Chris Bosh.
That's true.
He had a chance. He wasn't business savvy. He didn't see where the NBA was going.
Melo did it.
He thought he was a leader, which he never was. He had the skill set, but when he did make the conference finals, let's remember Chauncey Billups was the point guard.
Yeah.
So,
but they had who did they have to trade out of there to get to the conference finals? Who did they trade?
They traded AI.
They traded
ISO players.
They had to get
ISO players. He needed to be led. So Carmelo thought he was a leader and he wanted that bag, so he didn't get no chip.
So hold on, let me get in this real quick. This has always been my opinion with Carmelo. And the only reason why I brought this up because of how I am, y'all all family. If you deem me go, yo, old boy, let's talk about this. I'm gonna talk about it. James Harden gets a lot of flack. Like, I speak to my brother Zay all the time. James Harden gets a lot of flack.
Rightfully so.
Right. But are we live? I lay to death. I don't see the flack the same with Carmelo. I think Carmelo underachieved his whole career. Hold on. I understand
his whole career.
Yeah, I understand. He been to the Western. Hold on, let me finish. He been to the Western Conference Finals one time, right? He has, and I don't want to make it all about accolades, but it's maybe one time in his career he's been maybe top 5 or top 3 in the runners for MVP. Nothing defensively. I'm just being honest.
If he ain't scoring, he ain't doing nothing else.
I think his skill set, yes. And in them Denver years, he's had solid teams. Yes, the Lakers at that time was, the Titans. But for him, his whole career to only be to the conference finals one time with his skill set, I think he deserves the same smoke that everybody goes crazy on James Harden.
I feel like from my vantage point, he gets the smoke. He's underachieved his entire career. I want to talk about something that Mel just spoke about with when he came to New York. Amari averaging 25 and 8. Raymond Felton averaging 18 and 6. Let's be specific. Now, we're not going to do 20 and 10 and 30 and 10. We're not doing that, Mel. Now, I don't do that. Cut it out, Mel. I don't do that, Mel. Yeah, so hold on, real fast.
Man.
So that's where they was at. I loved how we looked when Felton and Amari came in. Amari was the only guy that wanted to come at that time, and I loved it, right? We were not going to be very good by the time April, May, and June came with Amari Stoudemire and Raymond Felton. We weren't going to be that good. So it was necessary, in my opinion, to go get Melo at that time. Now, he could have waited to the summer, right? He could have waited to the summer. We don't have to give up nothing. But to say like Timothy Mozgov and Danilo Gallinari and Wilson Chandler, love Wilson Chandler to death. But to say that we had to give those guys up was a lot. because that's what niggas a lot of bull. Remember that trade? Everybody said we gave up a lot.
Yes.
Let me give you the names again. Mozgov, Gallinari.
I disagree with that notion. Listen, when
Wilson Chandler.
When you get a superstar, you got to give something up. So I disagree when people be like, "Oh, you gave up too much." Hey, you got to give up what you got to get a superstar. I agree.
Check me out.
If they had the right pieces, though, you need them pieces on the championship team.
I agree with that.
I don't even think it was the pieces. I just don't think Carmelo was a leader.
We make that trade. We bump Boston out of the first round. We lose to Boston in the playoffs that first year. We come back the next year, bump Boston, our 2 seed, win 55 games. Tyson Chandler is defensive player of the year. Melo is scoring champ. J.R. Smith is 6th man of the year. Like, he did not underachieve his entire career. Like, I don't think that's fair. There's a lot of moments he had where he played at the highest level, where he carried his team to levels. We hadn't won a playoff series in almost 20 years before Melo came in.
I give you that.
You know what I'm saying? He was carrying Denver to the playoffs every year in the fucking Western Conference at a time where the Western Conference was a dogfight.
I give you that point.
Denver was in the playoffs every year. So I think he should get a little more credit. That's what I'm saying. For me, it was like, damn, Melo gets he don't get no he don't get no love from in my vantage point, but I'm gonna let y'all go.
No. So hold on. Let me ask y'all a question. Where do y'all have Melo ranked as small forwards all time?
Oh shit.
I mean,